Today we are taking the new Tesla Performance Model 3 for a test drive.
Woo.
So yeah, today James was invited to test drive a Model 3 Performance. How did that come about?
So I was actually just contacted out of the blue. I bother them a lot. We're going to be in the market for a new car soon, and so we've just been pestering them about government incentives. And you know, the Performance is an absolutely beautiful car, but realistically, like, the long range just might more be ideal for us. We're not car racing people, and though I love the speed of it, you actually get great speed in all three of the versions of the Model 3.
Yeah.
We have test drove also the long range. We've not test drove the new standard range, and I think that's because if we were going to get a Tesla, we're not going to get a standard range. Because that's what this one is. We want more range to the battery. And you know, we like if you've seen any of our road trips, we do that Florida trip at least a couple times a year, and so having the extra, I think it's extra 140 kilometers on top of the what it is on top of like the 400, so I think it's roughly around 540 or something. That would kind of help us out in our road trips up to Florida.
Yep.
So yeah, so we weren't sure, but they still invited us, and we were like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Language!
Like, there is a car here somewhere. I guess he was waiting for me.
We're not fully sold on whether we will get a Tesla or not. I don't want to talk too much politics, but like, we're all well aware of what is going on, and personally, James and I don't super agree with a lot of what is going on with Elon Musk and
his support of Trump and all that shit. But
not big fans, but we still have 6 months before we actually have to make a decision. Our lease isn't up until March. So we're going to take it for a test drive. We're going to see how it feels, weigh our options. We're going to see what other cars are out there on the market. I mean, we love EVs, and we love supporting that way of doing things. Not sure if we would go full EV if we were to buy a vehicle today. Maybe it would end up being a hybrid. So really, our options are very much open, and we're just gonna see. We've got James driving a Model 3 Performance for the first time, taking this baby on the highway. First impressions?
It's holding the road incredibly nicely. It's super fast. Like, I just got a speed warning because I took off in this car. I think they do, when you demo drive it, they lock it for speed. The seats, really comfy. I can feel it's got the lumbar in it. It's got that cool air in it. But overall, like, this thing is handling beautifully.
Very nice.
What do you think as a passenger?
As a passenger, I feel like this is a very smooth, comfortable ride. The bucket seats are really hugging to you. It feels pretty comfortable. Personally, I would never choose the white interior myself, just because I get things dirty and it will not stay white for very long. But it is really sharp looking to see it as a test drive model. looks very different than our screen on the 2021 Model 3 standard. This just looks crisp, I would say.
All right, kitty cats, she's driving.
I will say, like, it is very responsive to the touch, and I feel like it's almost harder, or you have to concentrate more to keep it in the lane, at least in the mode that I'm in. I think I have it on the heavy steering and the insane acceleration, and so like I'm not even trying to move, and we're going 65 in a 50, and I'm trying to be deliberate in like keeping it under control. It has a lot of power, you can tell.
How do you find like the handling and all the fun stuff?
So far I've only been really on like a straightaway, so it's hard to tell.
How about you give it a gun for a second and...
Oh, yeah, like it picks up with like nothing. Barely even touching. I like didn't even like floor it or anything there, and it was instantly going 20 kilometers faster.
Try the brakes now, so you could just see, like the brakes are also apparently much better in this guy. It's definitely smoother.
Yeah.
You don't feel the bumps as much. Whether it's that much different from the newest long range, that I don't know.
Yeah.
We've driven it, and I guess it feels fairly similar.
Yeah.
These bucket seats are pretty nice. We got the cold air coming through the seats, which is nice too.
Yeah, that would be nice on our road trips too, especially when like we're driving through Florida and it's really hot out, and
we got Miss Speed Demon.
we took her on the highway. We got the speed acceleration working.
How you feeling? Blood pumping?
Like I've got some power in my hands. But now we're gonna exit, so.
Yeah, but she got it up to the warning, the 130 or 140.
137.
There you go.
Yep.
It yells
fun.
at you.
Yeah.
No, like this car feels really good going fast. Like it's scary.
Yeah, no, it's good. I like it. Good feeling car.
Yes, now we just need to change some of the optics of the company, and we would actually probably think about getting this.
Yep. I'm just gonna let it park for me. How about that? Oh, what you doing, dude? We have driven the Performance. We have run a few errands, so it's much darker outside now.
Timed it all so we could get into Costco before it closed.
Yeah.
Like it's closed now, obviously.
But we got our groceries.
Yeah, so we had to do this in a bit of a darker scenario.
So, overall impressions of the Performance?
It's a beautiful car. It drives really nicely. Like after driving this, after that, like the seats are definitely more interesting. Like you even get them grabbing you on your legs. That being said, I do believe the long range seats were pretty decent too, and were better than we have the 2021 model. So you're gonna get really awesome stuff either way. You know, it's a fun car. It's a toy. It can go fast. It's got all these really cool settings. They call it insane for the performance setting you can do for the boosted acceleration and handling and all that. And I think there's even a lot more stuff you can customize. We didn't really play with that. But overall, really fantastic car. handles really nicely. Like right when I took it on the highway, I was zooming that thing and trying to just get a feel for how it gripped. I think at one point we had to quickly exit, and I literally just shot in between, like a maneuver I would never normally do. But I also know the feel of these cars quite well. I was a mechanic at a high school, and I was really big into kind of performance car stuff and car customization, all that. I haven't been for many years, so I'm not going to pretend like I'm some like super car expert or anything. But yeah, it was really incredible. Cate also drove it for a while on the way back. She's not really a car person.
I'm not a car person
but
at
how did
all.
you feel about it?
I loved the acceleration. That was really fun, just to see how fast it like just took off. This car does take off, I will say that. Like, you can get this car up to speed really quickly, but it was astounding to me, like not even like flooring the pedal, just barely tapping it, how much faster it zoomed ahead. That being said, in the passenger seat, when the driver is doing that, I will say that it definitely triggered my motion sickness. I felt nauseous when you would like make it fly like that. It
I think I do too, actually. I think everyone in the passenger feels like that.
But so like I actually do like get motion sickness in a lot of different ways, and like normally when we're driving down to Florida, I don't get motion sick at all because I'm sitting in the front. We've got the windows open usually, and like you're just sort of consistent. But when you get that acceleration, it really jostles the brain. I also really liked the seats that had the ventilation in them, the air conditioning. I think that would be really useful on like summer drives, especially to Florida, because it gets hot and sticky, and you don't necessarily want full air conditioning, but it's nice to have like flow behind your back and under your legs and stuff like that. I feel like that's also available though in the long range.
I believe it's in actually all
even
three.
The standard.
Yeah.
Okay,
so that's not something unique. The main unique things, I believe hardware wise, it does have a different suspension. It has the staggered tires, so it has bigger tires in the rear than the front. That is, for like a performance car, that's a great thing. For an everyday car, that can get pricey because you can't quite rotate your tires the exact same way. You can't do front to back, so anytime you change them, you have to kind of buy two different sizings of stuff. It does get a bit trickier also if you're trying to look for kind of regular tires, because I also think the back ones might be a little wider or something. So that's kind of a minus, because you are gonna have to replace your tires in this car over the 4-year period. This car, just the way it inherently drives and grips the road and all that, we wore ours pretty quick down in over a 2.5 years. So
because it's a heavier car, right?
Yeah. So all those things, I would say maybe are a little bit of a con. The reality is, like, if you have the money for it, it does not qualify for any sort of government incentives. So the difference between the long range and the performance, with the incentive included, is about $20,000. Is it worth $20,000 more? Probably not. Like, super fun and you'll love having it, but that novelty will most likely wear off also. It'll just kind of become your regular car, and quite honestly, it might even make other cars suck and you just won't really like anything else. For the price range it's in, like for the overall price, it definitely is way better than anything else you can get at that price range. It hits all the boxes of everything. I don't know what that looks like on insurance either. I imagine insurance could potentially be higher because you're no longer just buying a Tesla for the things that, like, for the environment.
Like you're buying a sports car.
Yeah, you're buying a sports car. So, you know, and insurance companies have been around. They're not stupid. They know why you'd buy a performance versus the other ones.
Yeah.
I think if you changed the tires to all the same sizing and all that, I think the battery is technically gauged that it could do the same range as the long range, but I don't think the car would quite drive the same if you did kind of non-staggered and did same size everywhere and all that stuff. So I haven't even actually heard of anyone doing that, so I don't think that's something you'd really want to do. I don't think the car would just be the same. But yeah, really great car. If we were to buy a Tesla today, I'd stick with the long range. It just hits all the boxes of what we need for our car. You know, we're not race car drivers. I go fast here and there, but I'm not someone who really needs that car. So yeah, it's great experience. Highly recommend. Like, if you get a chance, go give it a whirl. It'll blow your hair back and give you kind of a different experience than what you're expecting from an EV. Although all EVs today, like, they all are pretty quick and clearly, you know, electric energy offers a lot more in terms of speed than I think gas does. As even like the Model S, I think is one of the fastest production just standard vehicles you can buy. You don't really need to, you have to buy the most expensive version of it, but that's also, right? Yeah, but that's also dropped so much in price that compared to just like the old S, it's like 30K less, I believe, today. It's under 100,000, I think, or about 100,000. So yeah, but we'll keep you posted on our decisions and what we decide to do. I guess maybe I'll see our next road trip in some completely different car. There's a lot of pretty cool cars on the market today, and we have been test driving some hybrids.
Yeah. Actually, I'm curious, to you, the audience out there, would you be as interested in our road trip videos if we were not in a Tesla? Would you like to see a hybrid or a gas road trip? If so, drop us a comment. If not, also drop us a comment. Just let us know why.
Also curious other people's opinions on Tesla, the state of where Tesla is today, you know, with all the things that have come out with Elon Musk. There's, you know, people's opinions have definitely been skewed. I've definitely seen a lot of people online sell their Tesla, will not buy them as long as he's kind of still there. So, you know, what matters more to you? Is there some sort of morality aspect, or is it just kind of convenience and what you like? Yeah. So, and we will acknowledge, like, probably there's a lot of shitty people in all the major car companies at the top. They are just not as vocal about it. So is it an out of sight, out of mind? Is that make it okay? Or you know, whatever. Any of your thoughts around all this, because we are interested to hear other people's opinions on this, where, you know, everyone is absolutely entitled to their own, and so we're just kind of curious what other people think.
Yeah, so leave us some comments, let's get some discussion going, and thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.
Good night.